Where is he?
Where are you? Skull Rock. Do you know it?
Hello, everyone. This is Stacy, recording live over at the Skull Rock broadcast. I am joined by...
Hello, this is Megan. Welcome back to our Stranger Things podcast. We are especially excited today because we have a special guest joining us. So welcome, Haley.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. So Haley is Haley's Funko Space, right?
Correct.
On Instagram. Do you have any other social media?
I'm on TikTok and YouTube as well.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, so Haley's Funko Space. So of course, we're definitely going to be talking about Funko Pops today and collecting, which we're super excited about. Stacy is a big collector. I'm like getting into it. I've said a couple episodes now, I'm starting to like get bit by this bug and like want more and more. It's like addicting. So we're super excited to chat with you today and just hang out and hear about your collection and everything. What really kind of inspired us to have you on the show was the one reel I think that you posted where you were talking about some of your like dream Funko Pops that from Stranger Things that you would want to see. So that I think is going to be kind of the main topic of our conversation. And we are excited to kind of like talk about all of those because on the show in the past, we've like said some of the Funkos we would like to see and then they end up like happening. So we're like, let's manifest.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's manifest some more Funkos.
So, Haley, have you been collecting Stranger Things items since the beginning? Or was there a particular season that really kickstarted your collecting?
So season 2 is when I first started collecting. I found out about Funko Pops in like 2017. I was gifted one for Christmas. And then I was in the store and I saw Elevated 11 and the Ghostbusters gang. And I was like, I need those. So that's kind of what started it, is those 5. I bought them all at once. I had no idea what I was getting myself into in the world of Funko and how many more would follow that. But yeah, those are the 5 that started it. And then I kind of had to backtrack and get all the season 1 ones, which was a little bit of a difficult journey, but a fun one too. But yeah, season 2 was the fire that started it all.
I love that. Now, how many would you say, guesstimate, Stranger Things Pops do you think you own?
That is a good question. I am guessing like 150 to 200 maybe. Like
Goals.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I love
How
that.
many exist? Do you know? Is there like a finite number?
There people make like charts online, but it's ever changing. And then they have like the rumored ones as well. So there isn't like an official number. I feel like the Funko app should have that, but it's not in there. You can like track your collection through the Funko app, but there's no like checklist or grand total or anything like that. I'm guessing there's definitely over 200 at this point between like the commons, the convention exclusives, all those. So it is a very large collection to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so much fun. Did you watch Stranger Things from the very beginning or did you get into it at season 2?
I did, yes. Both me and my boyfriend started off with season 1. His younger siblings were really into it, so we were watching with them, and we were like, this is actually really good. So we've kind of just been on the bandwagon ever since season 1, and we've got a big group chat with some of our friends that we just bounce, Stranger Things memes and things like that all the time. So we are very, engulfed in the fandom for sure, so.
Yeah, that's amazing. So who would you say is your favorite character on Stranger Things?
It's got to be Steve. I mean, season 4 made a close call with Eddie, so he's up there too. But I mean, Steve's character arc from season 1 onwards, like the way he started off in the show, he wasn't a very likable character, building him up to be like this just like amazing character that we all love. He's got so many different like dynamics and so many characters, so it's hard to vote against him. But
yeah,
Eddie is a close second, so I'm going to give him an honorable mention because...
There you go. I think that's definitely where we're at too. And I think it's a requirement to be on our podcast. Your favorite character is Steve Harrington.
Yep.
Apparently.
That anybody else would be like, the connection's bad, bye.
Gotta to go. Sorry. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, later days. That's
Good to know
amazing.
I planned my question correctly. I got the right
Yeah.
answer. So.
You got the right answer.
You're acing this right now. I have to say, and I know you said you moved a while back ago. Is that your dining room that you display them all in? Because I'm all about how it's displayed. I am in love with how you have it all organized and displayed. It's amazing looking.
Thank you. Yeah, it is the dining room. Upstairs, the ceilings are a bit shorter, so they don't fit the Billy bookcases. So we made a compromise. And like I said, my boyfriend's a big fan too, so he doesn't mind having that in there. And yeah, it started off with one of those bookshelves and it's grown to 3 now, and it takes up that entire wall. And yeah, I'm loving what's happening with it, but
Yeah,
running out of space at this point.
I'm sure. Yeah. Do you have space for another one of those bookshelves or?
In that room, not really. On
Okay.
the other side, there is another bookshelf and it has like different fandoms in it. So I feel like at one point that may be taken over by Stranger Things, but for now,
Yeah.
it's just the one wall. I do like how it's all like in one space, one wall. It's just like, I like how it's displayed right now, but I think in the future we would like to move and like have like a nice like basement like collection area. We're also like
Mhm.
into sports, so we'd probably do like a sports area, collection area, kind of like that's the goal with the future of it. But for now, trying to make it fit into the space that we have.
Yeah. It looks amazing and it
Thank you.
photographs really well. And I know
Mm.
it's cool that you have like the doors on it. We talked about like Haley also has husky mixes.
Yes.
So like we understand the hair and the struggle.
If those doors weren't there, my collection would be in absolute shambles. Like it would be covered in hair 24/7. So they
Yeah.
are 100% a necessity. Sometimes I look at it because I know that like a lot of other people don't have the doors and it looks so nice just seeing everything out in the open. But gotta do what you gotta do, right? So
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
telling you, dog owner problems, because I have a little Maltese named Quinn. Guess who he's
I
named
love it.
after?
I love it.
And he always goes over to my lower shelf and you see him like sniffing like a lunchbox. And I'm like, hey, what are you doing? So
Yeah.
gotta watch out. They're into mischief.
If
Yeah.
I leave the door open a little bit, my cat will crawl in and she'll be like
Oh, yeah.
walking over top of the Funko Pops, knocking them over, and I'm like, let's not do this.
Yeah. That's why I have like this room that I record in. Pretty much the animals aren't allowed. Leia, my dog, comes in sometimes because she
I love
just
the name.
busts in. And yeah. What are your dog's names? I don't know if you told me.
Riley and Maverick.
Okay, cute. Yeah, Leia is my husky and she sometimes comes in here, but the cats do not come in here unless for some reason the door gets left open. So this is where I kind of need to like set up my collection because I don't really have a setup yet, but we'll see.
Well, I'm
It'll
looking
be
forward
okay.
to seeing what you do with it. That's
Yeah,
exciting.
thank you.
What would you say is your all-time favorite season?
That's tough. It's a toss-up between seasons 3 and 4. I think 4 has the slight edge, just being like as epic as it was. And I really loved how like every episode was like super long, especially at 8 and 9. It was like movies almost watching those. So I'm gonna go with season 4. I like how it kind of got a little bit more into like the horror, more suspense. Like I kind of like the vibe that it went with in season 4. Kind of hoping that they build off that in season 5, which I'm thinking they will be, but that slight overhead for season 4. Season 3 also has a special place in my heart though, because summer vibes, Starcourt, all that, like I love
All
it.
the way.
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like again, we're on the same page. I would say Stacey, is season 3 your favorite right now? I feel like it goes back and forth.
It goes back and forth right now because we're in summer. It's season 3 because I feel
Yeah.
like we've discussed it has a high rewatch value.
Yeah.
But season 4 between Eddie and, like you said, the epic scale of everything, I'm like, it's going to be like Sophie's Choice when season 5 comes. I'm going to be like, oh, damn. So,
Yeah,
It's gonna
and
be
I've
hard to
said,
pick after that.
exactly.
like season 4 broke my brain is what I'd say, and like made me obsessed with the show. Like I
Yes.
watched it from the beginning, but so it definitely I have to go with season 4 also. So what would you say is your favorite, and I'm sure this is going to be hard, you can pick a couple, Stranger Things pop or item from your collection?
Yeah, that is tough.
Talk about Sophie's Choice.
I feel like I always have like a top 2. Like it's so hard to just narrow it down. But Steve with Bat from I think he's the 2017 convention exclusive. Love that one. And then Max with costume from season 2 and her Michael
Oh,
Myers
yeah.
mask like on top of her head. I love
Ooh,
that
yeah.
one.
That
The
is a good
detail on
one.
that pop is so cute. I love photographing that one, like, especially, like, in the fall, obviously, like, the, Halloween vibes, but,
Mhm.
yeah, those are my top 2, and then I'll put an honorable mention to Eddie, the OG Eddie, 'cause anyone who collects Funko Pops knows that was a difficult one to find. If you did not find it in Target, like, before season 4 aired, you were
You're
looking
screwed.
everywhere, and the prices were, like, crazy, so to have that one in my collection, I'm happy to have it too.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so hard because I remember, like, I bought my Eddie Pop, like, I think it was 2 days after season 4 aired, so it was, like, right before everybody was like, "Oh
Perfect
my
timing.
god," and I remember after I bought it, a lot of people were like, "You're lucky you did because there's a lot of knockoffs," and I'm not on TikTok, but I've seen videos of how you can tell, and it's such subtle things, but what? Because 'cause I'm sure you have an eye for it, that you have to be careful because you have these resellers that are selling you knockoffs,
Yeah.
and you're not getting the actual pop, so I'm very fortunate I got a real one, but if around that time, if you were trying to buy an Eddie around volume 2 time, oh, okay, there's a mortgage payment.
Yeah, absolutely not. And they're
Yeah.
getting really good at making those fakes too, unfortunately. So it's just when
Mhm.
it's a highly sought after Funko Pop, you just have to be very careful, unfortunately. Thankfully, there's a lot of like accounts, even on Instagram, that have started like just showing the difference between like the real and the fake. So it's really
Yeah.
nice to have resources like that to compare to when you're like purchasing a
Mhm.
Funko. But yeah, finding Eddie was crazy, especially here in Canada because we don't actually have Target anymore.
I didn't even think about that, yeah.
They backed out in 2019, I think.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, it was a struggle, so but
Do you find it, like, almost ha like, obviously, we live in the 21st century and we have the internet, but do you
yes.
find collecting in Canada a little more challenging than if you were in the States?
Yeah, for sure. We get a lot of the special edition exclusive stickers.
Mm,
I'm picky. I mean, it doesn't matter for a lot of people, but for me, I would prefer, like, the Target exclusives or, like, the original sticker that came on the Funko Pop.
yeah.
Luckily, I have a lot of friends that I've met in this community through collecting and Stranger Things that are able to help me out.
Mm,
Mhm.
Like, one of my friends usually will go to the drops for me, which is really nice, and then he'll just mail them over, so super grateful to have people like that that help me out, but it is definitely a little bit more challenging here. We don't get everything necessarily, and if we do, it's usually a different sticker, so I do try
yeah.
to get it all from the US, which is a task in itself, but it pays off, it's worth it.
The
Yeah.
thrill of the hunt of a collector, I love it.
Absolutely.
Now, besides, like, Eddie from season 4, what would you say is your next favorite pop from season 4?
Season 4, that is a good one. We've gotten so many recently.
Mm,
Max at Cemetery is a good one. I love that one. The recent Chrissy pop that we've gotten, like the detail in her, like floating with the white eyes, I think is really cool because Funko Pops typically they always have black eyes, right? So to
mhm.
have that was kind of cool. I was happy to get a Murray Funko Pop because we hadn't had him before. So those are a few. I know it's from the latest wave, but probably those 3.
Yeah. Were those the very first Chrissy and the very first Murray that
Yeah.
exist?
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
It took a while for Murray too, obviously, because we've had him since season 2, right? So
Yeah.
Mhm.
it was a long time coming, and it was so nice
Yeah.
to finally get it. And they
Exactly.
they made it really well too. Like they did a perfect job. Like his mustache and everything, it's like perfection.
You said that you have a lot of Stranger Things pops, but you don't have all of them. Is there sort of like a holy grail for you right now that you're kind of on the hunt for?
Yeah, so I'm still looking for all of the Fun Days from 2018 Freddy Funkos. So there's 2 different Freddy Funkos as Steve Harrington. There's one as Dustin, and then there's one as Upside Down Will. So those are like my 4 most sought after. They are worth a lot. So
Can you explain to me, someone who's a little lost in this whole Freddy thing,
yeah,
who is Freddy and what are these about?
so
I've
Freddy
seen 'em.
Funko, yeah, no problem. Freddy Funko is the mascot of Funko. So he is
Oh,
their character, and they make him into different variants of Funko Pop. So it'll be Freddy Funko as like for example, maybe like they'll make one for Deadpool because Deadpool's popular right now, right? So
mm,
they form it into different fandoms, and that's kind of how they emerge themselves into the different fandoms kind of thing, I guess. And
okay.
typically they're only released at conventions. So these ones, for example, were released in 2018 at San Diego Comic Con. And the only way for you to get them was if you were there physically at that event, or you buy it from somebody who was there or has purchased it from somebody else, a reseller kind of thing, right? So they're also limited piece counts. Most of them, I think, are around like 450 pieces. So not many of them were made. So it makes it a little bit difficult to find those as well. And then there is a gold Hopper Funko Pop. He is also a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and he's limited to 40 pieces.
Oh my God.
He is impossible to find. There is a million fakes for him too, so you have to be very, very, very careful. But the market price on that one is absolutely crazy. So I don't know if I'll ever own that one. But yeah, he's a highly sought after one for sure. That's like the biggest grail for Stranger Things collectors. Like,
really? Okay, good to know. I've seen it on the internet before, like just pictures of it. And I'm like, that kind of looks like an Indiana Jones treasure, you know? So good to know.
Yeah, I think
literally the holy grail.
Like it's gold and everything, right? Like it couldn't be more fitting, but yeah, it's a very hard one to find.
The soda pop ones are really cool. Like, I think I own like one Steve one. It's him with his bat without the sunglasses.
I love it.
I'm like, what's this? It's in a little soda can. And I didn't realize that these have been out for a while and there's all different variations, which I'm a sucker for the different variations of them. And a lot of people are like, it's the same mold. As soon as they made that red glitter Eddie or that blue and red Eddie, I was like, need it. I need it.
Honestly, I haven't seen either of those ones either. They haven't come here, so I'm keeping my eye out for those two. But yeah, the cool thing about the Funko sodas is like, oh, that is amazing.
Isn't it? Like, I love the blacklight ones and
It's
stuff.
so
My buddy got it overseas, so I don't even know if it's like over on this side of the planet. But they're so pretty, and I don't know, like a lot of people were upset, I know, with the blacklight Robin and Steve. They were like, it's the same mold. And I'm like, I don't know. I think if you're a pop collector, like the sherbet ones, I thought those were adorable. And I know it wasn't everybody's taste, but for like different variations, which one is your personal favorite?
That's a good question. I do like the metallic ones. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know blacklight isn't like the most popular, but I'm a fan of it. I like what you can do with like different lighting, especially for me because I do like to photograph my Funko Pops. Like I feel like that adds like a whole other level of like creativity and like things you can do with your photos because you can add like the blacklight lighting into it and stuff. So I think those are my two favorite, but chase variants too are just like super cool to have. And like going back to like the Funko sodas, each Funko soda has a chase variant that goes with it, which was something that's very cool about those because not all Funko Pops do get a chase, only a select few. So that was kind of something different with those and made it a little bit more fun because it's like, oh, what's in this soda can? You don't know, right? So it could be either or.
Can you tell me what a chase variant is? Because I'm like clueless.
Yeah, no problem. So a chase variant, for example, season 1, 11 with Eggos. She has a chase variant where there's her with like her shaved head, and then there's another one with the wig and like her dress. So the only difference is the wig, and that makes it the chase. So it's just like a slight difference to the mold. It's still quite similar to the original, but it's just something different. Sometimes they'll do like a metallic. They've done Hopper. They did him with his hat and without his hat. That was another chase variant that they did.
So it's kind of like the same box and everything. You just kind of like randomly might get that one.
Yeah, and it'll have a sticker on it that says Chase, and the sticker is yellow. So it's pretty easy to tell the difference between them. Even if the Funko Pops are quite similar, the box kind of makes it stand out a bit. But when you find one of those, it's definitely an exciting day because they're rare to come by. So if you see them, you grab them. It's like, okay, yep.
Oh yeah,
go home with
that's
this.
Super cool. I really like the blacklight ones too. I don't know. I'm like a fan of like the bright colors and everything. So that's like I have the Steve and Robin. I actually have 2 of those now at Family Video. And then I got the Eddie blacklight, the new Eddie blacklight. But then I was like, I want like some of the old blacklight stuff too. So I got like the season 3 11 blacklight one. That's like the most recent one I've bought. Yeah. And then I want like the Demogorgon and the Dustin that are blacklight too. So those are like what I want to get next, I think.
They're pretty cool, and if you have LED lights, if you switch them to the blue, it kind of like replicates a black light, so to speak, and it'll make them glow because I have them in the room, and if I turn that blue on, they're just sitting on the shelves glowing, and I'm like, this is so awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, yeah. Besides Stranger Things, are there any other fandoms that you collect from?
Yes, I try to focus mostly on Stranger Things just for lack of space, and it's so hard to narrow it down. There's so many amazing fandoms, but I
Yeah.
have another bookshelf in that room on the other side of the wall, which is all dedicated to Star Wars. So that's my second fandom for sure.
Yeah. That's definitely what I would kind of like want to start getting Funkos from as well, but I feel like it would be like a slippery slope. Like,
There's a lot. I mean,
yeah.
both fandoms, there's so many. I mean, especially with Star Wars, they're coming out with like so many new shows lately too, like the live series and all that. So there's a lot to keep up with. It keeps you busy
Yeah.
for sure, but also Lego too. Lego and Star Wars are hand in hand. There are so many Star Wars Lego sets, which is very cool. I think that Lego needs to get into the Stranger Things world a little bit more.
Thank you.
We haven't got a new set since like 2018, 2017, I think
The
that
house that you have, right, Megan?
Yeah, I have it. I've been working
yeah.
on it.
I
It's fun.
also have it, and it's been a year and I have not built it, and I need to do it ASAP.
Okay, so let's get into our kind of dream pops, ones that we would love to see from Stranger Things. And we'll let Haley go first. You can give us one.
I'm starting it off strong. I feel like we need another season 1 Steve with his white and blue polo. I feel like we need like the beginning of the arc, you know what I mean? Especially like with his hair too. Like we need the hair arc as well via Funko Pop form. So
Haley, I like you.
That white
I
and
like
blue
you too.
polo is definitely a classic. I mean, and any, like, I'm sure there's going to be lots of Steves on this list. So that would be a
I'm
great
okay with
one.
it. I'm totally okay with it.
I'll continue with the Steve trend and say that I need Steve in the yellow sweater because
Oh,
that is like my favorite outfit.
That's a good one. That's a good one, more.
And he spends a lot of time in season 4 in that outfit. Like, so I feel like we need it. I have seen custom pops of that too, and it's just like beautiful.
I feel like with season 4, like nothing is really out of question yet because they're still making them. So like it's a possibility. So like
Yeah,
manifesting that energy here right now, especially.
exactly. Steve in the yellow sweater, if you're listening, Funko.
Let's
Make
go.
it happen. Yeah. I'm telling you, if any of these really happen, like I'm 100% convinced we're witches. So let's make this happen.
They have to give you credit going forwards.
Of course, you know.
Exactly.
Let's stick with this Steve Harrington train, toot toot. I actually have been saying since the beginning, I would love to see another double set of him and Robin, but in their outfits that they wear at the end of season 3 when they're applying to family video. Him in that bubble vest, it's just iconic. And I love how Robin's hair is up. She looks so much like her mom in that scene. I just think that'd be such a cool double pack of, the platonic soulmates.
I love
That's
that.
a great scene. And it's the only scene in season 3 where they get to wear like a different outfit. So I feel like it's necessary. We
Yeah.
have so many Scoops Ahoy pops. Like, give us
We
something
do.
else from season 3.
Yeah, that's a good one for sure. Okay, so my next one, I feel like we should have gotten Max from season 3 in her yellow raincoat, and I feel like it should have been a 2-pack to go with 11 in her red raincoat, so we could have had like the mustard and ketchup duo. Like I feel like it's a little bit of a missed opportunity there, so I'm still holding out for that one.
Neither one of those exist, or 11 does.
We got the 11 in the red raincoat, so that's why I was like a little bit puzzled as to why we never got Max with the yellow raincoat, because that was the same
Right,
scene,
yeah.
right? So the 2-pack, it would have been so good, especially like if they made that like convention
Oh my
exclusive
God.
2-pack. I feel like it
Yeah.
would have
That's
been
a
so
really
cool.
good one.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense that it wasn't like a 2-pack or that they didn't have both. That's yeah, she was standing right next to
I've
Max.
wanted to
Yeah,
photograph
yeah,
them.
yeah. And I love them so much, so for sure. Another sort of season 3 one. So I love the season 3 promo where Dustin and Steve are at the movies. So Steve walks in and he's got like the red and white jacket. So it could be, again, a 2-pack with Steve in his red and white jacket holding like a Coke or a new Coke. And then Dustin in his denim vest holding a popcorn bucket.
I love
Like,
it.
So good.
A+ marketing there, like
yeah,
A+. I've never wanted to drink Coca-Cola
right.
more in my
Exactly.
life. Like,
All right. So this one was like my Big Mac, my big idea. I felt like when they did the 4-pack of the blue and red Eddie and everything, I got that everyone was in their battle gear, so Dustin made sense. But I felt like it was a missed opportunity not doing the Lovers Lake teens. And I think it would have been hilarious if somehow Funko, and I know it would have been a huge box, but they're all crammed in that boat. Like we have 4 pops crammed in a boat. Not really realistic, and it would probably cost like $200. But let's see that crew in a boat. Why not?
that'd be really cool. They do pop rides, so it's not completely out of the picture at all. Like, that'd be awesome.
So,
Yeah. So the 4 teens and the boat.
yep, and the boat. Yeah, especially the boat.
I feel like Funko has definitely done boats before too. I'm pretty sure. So like that, spot on.
Look
Yeah,
at that.
that would be
manifesting.
Manifesting.
Manifesting. For me, missed opportunity again. Back to season 3 would be Joyce, Hopper, and Murray in their guard outfits. I think that would have been a really cool 3-pack. All the feels, obviously. If you've watched season 3, you know. But
Yep.
Yes.
not getting any of them in the guard outfits to me is a little bit odd, and I feel like they will do it eventually. But
Hopefully.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah. That would be awesome.
Love that.
Okay. So this is like a little bit of a combination, but I mean, obviously, I would love to see Steve and Eddie as like a duo in some way. So either we do have Steve in Eddie's vest, which is one that we manifested on this podcast. Thank you. But if you could get like Eddie with what he was wearing when they were like walking together in the upside down, which I think was just like his
Leather jacket. Yeah.
right? So every single Eddie has a guitar. Is that correct? So like,
yes,
I just need Eddie without a guitar. So that would be one possibility. So since we already have Steve, we could just have like Eddie in his Hellfire shirt and leather jacket, because that would be like that duo. But if I was really going to go crazy, speaking of a boat, we could have an RV.
Shut up. I love that.
oh, that would be so cool.
And then, I mean, Steve and Eddie or anybody they wanted from the RV. But again, that would also be a really cool Lego set. So with like and have a bunch of the little like minifigs or whatever they're called. So yeah. So either Funko or Lego,
Yes.
please make us an RV.
I like the way you think. I like that.
How about both? Let's
Let's
manifest
go.
both.
Why
Yeah,
not?
both.
Send it out into the universe. Man, things are getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I love it. So for my last one, I actually thought this was going to be made, but it ended up being the Sherbert one. We have a beat up season 1, Steve. We need a beat up. No, you could either do 2, but I would want to see him in his Scoops outfit, because I just think it's so iconic with that, his poor, like practically swollen shut eye and him in his uniform. I think it would have just been the perfect way to cap off the Scoops Ahoy Steves.
Yeah. So just Steve, or you could have like Steve and Robin for that too, right?
That'd be awesome. Recently, I don't know if you guys have seen the Little People sets, the Stranger Things ones. They released one from season 3 with Steve, Robin, Dustin, and Erica. And then when you flip it over on the back, Steve has a black eye. So I'm like, finally somebody did it somewhere.
I love
Yeah,
that
that's
one. And I
true.
love that the artwork is him going, Dustin, that's crazy. We were just talking about you. I'm like,
I think it's funny that it's like a children's toy and it's like a scene of like torture and violence.
Yeah,
It's like-
100%. That was my first thought.
what a
It
time
made
to
me
be
laugh,
alive.
I'm not gonna lie.
But I mean, I'm here for it for sure.
I think swimsuit Karen from season 3 would be very cool.
Oh, that's
Oh,
to go with
I
the-
love the blue and the pink. Like,
That's a great
that's
swimsuit.
a great one.
I think it
yeah.
would be cool. I feel like her story in season 3 was an interesting one. And we got her Funko Pop from season 2, so I feel like
I love that. I have that set, and I love that Billy has the little cookie and she's in her, robe. I actually, as a joke, I was going to be like Ted asleep in his chair. And I'm like, that would be hilarious. But yeah, that's the only Karen pop, right?
Yep.
There you
Just
go.
the 2-packs. So I
Yeah,
think
she
it'd be
definitely
kind of cool.
deserves more for sure.
That swimsuit just like screams 80s. Like to me, it's just the vibes. It's perfect. So
Yeah. So another one that I thought what would be funny is at the end of season 3 when they're all at the house, Lucas and Max are wearing those outfits that people have pointed out that it's like the exact outfits from like
That
that
70s
70s
show.
show.
Mhm.
So to have them in those outfits, I feel like would be really cool.
I love
I
that.
love that. That would be good. I feel like I've seen stuff online where like those shirts have been used in like so many different like shows and movies. Like it's so cool to see like where the different like costumes end up in Hollywood, I guess.
Yeah, that's really cool. Give us as many more as you want because we love it.
Okay. This is rumored, so I mean, I can't take full credit if it does come out, but I feel like we do need a Mind Flayer Funko Pop. Just, I
Thank you.
mean, it's played such a pivotal role in this series, and I just feel like it deserves a Funko. And we have every other monster, I think, to this point. So
So, like, yeah, why isn't there one like that? Okay. I love that.
I think it would be pretty cool. And again, me like photographing mine a lot, like so many different options with that. Like, it would allow me to create so many cool like scenes and stuff.
Mhm.
I love doing that. I love like trying to like recreate scenes to like the best of my ability.
Yeah.
Obviously, with Funko Pops, you can't really move them around and like position them, but it's still fun to try and like recreate them like that. I have a lot of fun. It's, yeah, something that brings me a lot of joy for sure.
I love
Yeah.
your staging creativity because it was a huge trend with the VHS community for a while, and I was part of it for a while, where you would try to like recreate a scene or have it staged like it's a scene from the movie. And watching you and several other accounts, you guys are so good at even the backdrops. You know, it's
Oh, thank
just
you.
amazing. I'm floored by it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, your photography is beautiful too. And I've
Thank
been
you.
really impressed with like the Lego stuff that you've been doing like too. So, yeah, it's super fun.
That was definitely fun too because it required me to use a whole another lens and kind of like step out of my comfort zone a bit. It's so cool. Like I never would have like anticipated like creating photos like this, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It's definitely something that brings me joy, and I love being able to just use my camera as much as I do. Like
What kind of camera do you use? For our technical people who actually know about cameras, I'm like,
Yeah.
I use my phone.
it is a Canon 5D. So
Cool.
yeah, I used to do real estate photography, so that's kind of why I
Oh.
had this camera.
Yep.
And then I did landscape photography as well, and then I kind of just transitioned into toy photography, which has been
I love that.
amazing. I find more joy out of that than anything. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I did mention this in my reel, but I do believe Dr. Owens. He deserves one. He's played a pivotal role too from season 2.
Mm.
I love what he did for 11 in season 4, and I love how he's just like a comfort to her and like genuinely a good person wrapped up in this crazy world. So
Yeah.
yeah, he
I really
deserves
hope we
one.
get like a little bit more in season 5 about him because there was like the scene in season 4 where they went to his house and like raided it
Yeah.
and like took the box of like someone's school stuff
You
or
assume it's his
project or
kid.
something.
Yeah.
Right. And that was the most random scene I think in season 4 that I really need answers for. Like, what was this? Like, why were they going to his house and taking stuff like of a character that we've never even like heard of,
Yeah.
like him having a kid and his wife and everything. So I'm so curious about that. But I also love, I think it's, I guess, in season 2 when he kind of gives Hopper the birth certificate and like allows him to adopt 11 basically. Like he's definitely, you know, a very interesting character. And like you hope that like he is good and that there isn't any like anything that we don't know about.
It was cool to see
Yeah.
the family dynamic too, because you don't get to see that from anybody at the lab really, right? Like you just see them in their like working roles, and you don't get that other side of them, which I think is kind of nice
Yeah.
because it allows you to like personalize them a little bit more. And yeah, so
Yeah, because we did see Brenner at his house doing the crossword puzzle at the beginning, which was like a very
Psychopath.
random scene too. Yeah, like setting his timer and everything. I feel like that was very like I just giving a little bit of an insight into him too. But
I'm just bad at crossword puzzles, so I'm like, that's a serial killer. Which I have to ask, Haley, are you like me? I'm already dreading like doing the math in my head financially and space wise. Season 5, all the pops, man.
I'm terrified.
Oh yeah, yep. The
that's
calm
why
before
she's
the
like
storm.
she needs to move to a new place before season 5.
People think I'm joking when I say that, but we're having literal discussions about it because, like, I don't know, like, we other reasons to move, obviously, but that is up there. Just like more space and like a better room for the collection, and just being able to prepare for season 5 because I feel like they're gonna go big because it's the
Oh
final
yeah,
one. They're
last
gonna like,
hoorah. Yeah.
they're gonna be throwing Funko Pops at us left, right, and center. Not to mention all the other merch. There's not a lot of other amazing companies. I don't just collect specifically Funko. I'm sure you guys don't either.
Yeah.
So where do you fit all that, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly. What are some of your favorite like items in your collection that are not Funko Pops?
I really like the U2's figures. Big fan of those. Recently, I've gotten into Handmade by Robots. I've got a few of the Stranger Things figures there. Really liking that company as a whole. Lego, obviously. I really like collecting the minifigs. The records. I love collecting the records.
That's
and I have
awesome.
them prominently displayed. I wanted to do that for a while, but I feel like the art on there is so amazing. They just deserve like a nice spot too. So those are a few of the things that I collect other than Funko Pops.
Yeah, there's one of the girls from Epic, I think Dev is her name. I don't think I told you this, Stacey. She said that she bought one of the albums, like one of the vinyls, and that's what she's going to get all of the cast members to sign
That's ingenious. I
at
love
the
that.
Upside Down convention, which I thought was like really, really like a great idea.
That really is. I love that.
That's so smart. And the
Yeah.
vinyls are absolutely beautiful. All of them are so unique and like individually pressed. Like none of them look the same. So it's like a cool experience. I think that's a very, very cool thing to get autographed.
Oh,
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of epic cons,
Exactly.
perfect segue, girl. Who would you say, because you said that you're going to make the hike down there, and who are you most excited to meet at the convention?
I mean, Joe Curie. It's got to be.
Come on, yeah.
I was humming and hawing, and then they announced Joe Curie, and I was like, I'm going. Like, there's no debating it. We're making it happen. So I am super excited to meet him, obviously. I'm very excited for his past success over the last year. Just really happy with how everything's like worked out for him. So to have a chance to like talk with him about that briefly, congratulate him, and just chat with him is something I've wanted to do for a long time. So he's number one, but there is a big list.
Are you going to get a pop signed by him?
I actually have an order in with a company called Swau, SWAU. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. So I don't have an autograph right now, but if they do open up another autograph signing, I'm probably gonna, I think I want to get the Steve with Bat from season 1 signed. I think that would be very cool. So
yeah.
Hoping they open up more. I know we're saying manifest a lot, but I'm manifesting it because
make it happen, you know?
Multiple Joe Curie autographs, that's okay with me. I'm good.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you planning on getting any other Funkos signed by anybody else while you're there?
Yes. So far, I'm thinking of getting the Billy and Karen 2-pack. I want to get signed.
That's a good one.
By Dacre and Kara. My Chrissy Funko Pop I'm getting signed. I'm going to get a Vecna or one Funko Pop signed by Jamie Campbell Bower as well.
Good one.
And then I think I have one with Charlie Heaton as well, an autograph session. So right now that's my list. I'm kind of holding out to see who else they announce before I decide on others, but I'm going to need an entire suitcase just for Funko Pops to be autographed at this point. So
they're not tiny. And I have to say, like, I didn't realize that you actually went to JQ's Fan Expo in Canada, which was in August, September of 22. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Amazing. Like, the best experience ever. I was shocked because, I mean, in Canada, we don't always get a lot of the bigger names. So
Mhm.
to have him be in Toronto right after the hype of season 4, like, it was crazy. He was so busy that weekend. Like,
Mm.
I can't even explain, but he was so, so nice. I got a photo op with him. I unfortunately was not able to get an autograph session. Just they cut off the line like right before I got to the front, but
Damn.
he was amazing. He was so, so kind.
Mm.
I'm also really hoping that they maybe announce him in October
Yeah,
at
we're
the
keeping our
con
fingers
because
crossed. That's for sure.
he would also be at the top of the list for
Oh yeah.
needing to meet again at least and have
Mhm.
a little bit more time for an autograph session for sure. But it was amazing. I got to go to the panel there too. He did a panel with Finn, Grace, and then Jamie as well.
That was such a
Him
good
and
one.
Jamie, him and Jamie interacting is like the best possible thing ever. They love each other.
They do.
They ran out on stage. Like Jamie came out a bit after the other three, and when he came out on stage, they like ran at each other and like this big massive hug and like
It was
oh,
basically
it's
the
so
Dirty
funny.
Dancing left. Like that's
Yes.
what it looks like. Yep.
The
Yeah.
fact that you were there is so cool because I feel like I've seen so many videos from that panel and it's just like one of the best. Like, so you were there
So
in
good.
person, which is super cool.
Yeah, it was definitely an amazing experience. Not one that I expected to happen in Toronto, but definitely grateful that Fan Expo Canada made that happen so quickly after season 4 too. And to have
Mm.
4 different cast members, 4 or 5? 4, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that Jamie's going to be there in October and I feel like we have not seen them together in a while, like
Mm.
that would be so cool. And I'm just, yeah, excited to see all of the cast members be able to like interact with each other, like at these panels and stuff like that. And just, I think that'll be so fun in October.
It will
Yeah.
be exciting to see the different panels that they have planned. I'm
I
very,
know.
very excited to see that schedule, what that looks like, who they're
Mm.
going to put together. Like, ugh.
Yeah. And I'm like, I keep buying more photo ops and stuff, but I'm like, shoot, like, am I going to like miss panels because I'm in line for these photo ops? Like, I'm going to be very concerned about this.
That's kind of why I've like I am filling it up. Let's be serious,
Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah.
trying not to because I just want a little bit more information on when the panels are. Also, the meet and greets. There's that looming as well, and I
Yeah.
mean,
The meet
if
and
I could
greets,
get
I think, will be okay because what Alexis told us when she was on our show was that like there will be meet and greets in the morning before the convention starts. So like from like 9 to 10 and then the convention will start
okay,
at 10
Yeah.
or like in the evening after pretty much everything else is over for the convention. And so there's like 4 different like time slots for meet and greets and then they're not going to announce any of the meet and greets until they can announce all of them at the same time
Mm.
because you only have those 4 time slots. So you kind of have to like prioritize and make your decisions based on who you really want to see. So
that makes sense.
those
Okay,
shouldn't
Mm.
really conflict with like panels and photo ops and stuff like that, which is nice.
they've just planned this out so well. Like it seems like they've just got like everything like in order. Like it's so organized. Like
Yeah,
I'm super
we're so
excited.
impressed by them, and,
Oh my God.
like, I
It
feel like
seems
we've
like
been following their, like, other
yeah.
cons and stuff, like, just to see, and they're kind of modeling it after their Vampire Diaries conventions, which
Mhm.
are, like, in the town, like, 20 minutes away from Jackson too, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, we're super excited about it.
Yeah. It looks very fan oriented. They're doing it for fan service for us fans.
Yes.
So pumped.
Yeah. Yeah. And then all the meet and greets are gonna be, like, kind of special events, like doing something with the cast member. So it's, like, just kind of a different experience than just kind of, like, sitting in a room with them and, like, you
Yeah.
actually get to, like, get out and, like, go do something with them, which is gonna be fun. So it's not gonna be fun for, like, our bank accounts
Oh
/ credit
no.
cards /
No.
We're not even thinking about that at this
No.
point. It's just it's the experience. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly. But, yeah, anything else that you're super excited about for October?
Just to be there, the filming locations, and obviously meeting
Mm.
people in the community. I'm excited to meet both of you and just a lot of people that I've been connected with for a couple of years now since I've created this account. Just a lot of different people going there. It'll be really cool to hang out, just to be surrounded by, thousands of other people that just love Stranger Things as much as you do. I think that's
Exactly.
you can't you can't like replicate that anywhere else. This
Mm.
experience I feel like is kind of like a it's like a once in a lifetime event. Like, it might sound a bit cliche, but like, this is the only time they're going to be filming season 5. It's done after that. When are they all going
Mm-hmm.
to be in Jackson to be able to make an event like this? Like, it's
Yep.
just had to do
Chills.
it. There's no,
Exactly.
there was no passing on it. It's just,
Oh
you
no.
have to
I
be
know.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were thinking the exact same thing. And I'm pretty proud of us because we did buy our tickets before Joe Keery was announced. Like, only Millie had been announced, I think. And we were like, no, like, this is going to, we can tell this is going to be amazing. Like, in Jackson, while they're still
Yep.
filming,
Yep.
like, whoever they end up getting, it's going to be incredible. And the fact that, like, the third guest announcement or whatever was Joe Keery, like, I could cry.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
So yeah, super, super cool.
I was humming and hawing, like I said, and I said to a couple people, I'm like, I really want to go. I really want to go. I'm going to wait. But if they announce Joe Keery, that's it. Like, there's
Yeah.
no humming and hawing. We're going. And then literally a
Yeah.
couple days later, they announced Joe Keery. And I'm like, well, we're going.
I'm
like,
going.
that's it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And we are super excited to, again, like you said, meet you and meet everybody else that we've connected with so far, like
Mhm.
since we've started this thing. So yeah, it's super fun.
It's going to be a weekend to remember. That's for sure.
That's for sure. What are some of the filming locations that you're excited to see?
Oh, man. Hawkins National Lab, because
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I think it's going to be there now. There was some questions on if they were demolishing it or not, but now it looks like they're possibly still using it for filming. So hoping
Yeah,
to be
I
able
think
to go
it'll
there.
still be there in October. Hopefully the school is still there in October too for
Yeah.
That
Stacy
too.
and yeah, but we'll see.
Those are definitely top 2 because I know that they're not going to be there forever. I
Mhm.
also want to check out like Hawkins headquarters, downtown, stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of cool places that I'm seeing on social media. I would like to do a tour if I have the time, honestly, like one of the bus tours just to see as many as possible. Creel House, that's definitely on the list. As many of the cast member houses as possible, like the Wheeler House, like
Mhm.
I think a few of those are on the same street, so that's kind of nice that,
Yeah.
it's all kind of within like the same little area. So much to do in 4 days. It's gonna be so epic. Pun
Woo!
intended. I keep like throwing epic in there, but
I know. It's
it's like the
True.
perfect name.
yeah, it really is going to be epic. There's no other way to describe it.
Mhm.
All right. Well, it was so fun talking to you.
Thank you so much for having me on here. It was a blast. I love chatting with both of you and looking forward to seeing you guys in October as well.
Yeah, we'll talk to you and we'll see you soon.
All right. Have a great rest of your day.
All right. Well, that was such a fun time.
Oh my God.
Haley, thank you so much for being on the show with us. We had such a fun time talking to you.
Mhm. I love talking to fellow collectors. I mean, I love that you've gotten bitten by the Funko Pop bug because it's addicting and it's just so cool. But just her creativity with her, massive talent of photography. But I am in awe constantly of that backdrop of all those cabinets filled. I'm like, that's goals, baby.
Yeah, it's amazing. So we are super excited to meet Haley in October, and we hope you enjoyed the conversation. We are going to go ahead and get into filming updates for this week because we got a photo dump from Raw Stuffer.
Yeah.
It was the first one in a while,
Yeah.
and it was for weeks 25 to 27.
Oh, wow.
And he knows what he is doing because he started with a gorgeous photo
Girl.
of Joe Keery. So let's break down. We're going to go slide by slide here through
Yes.
this photo dump. This is at the radio station. So we've got WSQK, The Squawk.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get this radio content in
Right?
season 5. But it's Joe in his Steve Harrington costume leaning against the van, this blue van, which I can already tell is going to be just as iconic as Hopper's truck, the Surfer Boy Pizza van. So the lighting is very fun, and Joe just looks amazing. He's silhouette. It's his silhouette against the light, and
He
he's
looks
a
like
dreamboat.
a dream. Like, literally, he looks like he's appearing in a dream.
Yeah.
And, it's swoon worthy, but like you said, they knew what they were doing and
They
have that
knew
be
what
the
they were doing.
first
And
photo.
this man's arms and
Oh,
hands just
talk about art.
it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we could talk about that all day. I was very distracted by that photo that I at first was like not even looking for clues in the rest of the photos. I was like, I can't even do this. I just want to stare at Joe Keery.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually I started looking into the other photos. So we got another photo kind of like at the radio station set, but it's of the Duffer Brothers. And I mean, I don't know if this was staged. Like they have their hands on their heads. They look a
Yeah.
little worried. Um, interesting. But the next photo I was not a huge fan of because it was a trash can.
Yeah.
And attached to this trash can was a photo of Eddie Munson shredding on the guitar. And I mean, I guess it's just a fun little joke, guys, that it's the shred bin, but this is not.
You know that saying from Dirty Dancing, nobody puts baby in a corner? Nobody puts
Yes,
Eddie on a trash can.
exactly. Come on, let's not reduce our man to the label on a trash can,
Yeah. Ugh.
especially if you're not going to give us like him back. If he's coming back, I'll forgive you for this. But
Yeah.
if he does not come back, I don't think I'm going to forgive them for this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Facts.
Then we have sort of like, isn't this like the Ghostbusters logo, but with a
Yes.
Demogorgon?
I thought that was cute.
Yeah, and it says Demogorgon Hunter in like the Stranger Things font. So I don't know what this is, what the context is of it, but it's super cute.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I need it on like a shirt.
Yeah.
The next one is super random. It's orange Tic Tacs in a Ziploc bag labeled Duffer Bros and some Scope floss picks. So I guess we're all keeping our breath minty fresh.
That's good.
Oh, I have a theory.
Okay.
Maybe somebody's kissing
Oh, you might be right.
and so they need floss picks with like mouthwash and Tic Tacs to
They're
kind
just
of like keep their breath minty fresh for this kissing scene.
dear God, I'd be gagging. That's like a creamsicle with toothpaste. Like, what?
Yeah, minty orange.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, but I mean, the Duffer Bros aren't kissing anyone, as far as I know. So I don't know why it's labeled for them.
Yeah.
Then we have the iconic Alice in Wonderland art, which of course threw us back to our very second episode.
Yep.
If you have not listened to it, it is called Down the Rabbit Hole. And we named it that one because we literally went down the rabbit hole talking about all of the influences and connections to other movies and media.
Mm-hmm.
But we did specifically talk about connections that I've noticed with Alice in Wonderland. So I'm not going to go into too much of it. We did talk about it on the episode. I did put up a post with like the white rabbit that Holly Wheeler is making on the light bright, because that was something that kind of like really kind of struck me when I first noticed it when I was watching season 4. So
Yeah.
I definitely think that there are going to be connections between Holly Wheeler, Alice, Creel, potentially even Sarah, Hopper's daughter, and Elle,
yeah.
because they're all sort of like, young girls and have that Alice vibe of kind of like going into this Wonderland upside down kind of experience. So we'll see. I mean, Hopper, literally the name Hopper like makes you think of a rabbit. Like,
I didn't even think about that. Guys, look at her. Look at her.
And then I don't know if I've said this on the podcast before, but at the end of season 4, when they're kind of like bringing donations to the high school, Nancy like has a stuffed rabbit that she's trying to figure out whether or not
Mr.
to
Rabbit.
donate.
Yep.
Yeah. So another rabbit in the kind of like show. So
Look at all these damn rabbits.
and I mean the lyrics from what is it called, White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane. It's like the hookah smoking caterpillar. Like, I feel like we always kind of think of Argyle. Like,
Yeah, like, let's be real. Yep.
so that it's just like there's lots of vibes. I don't know. Again, I don't really come up with theories. I
Mm,
just notice connections and think it's cool. So it's like you could kind of come up with so many different theories based on those connections, but I think it's just more fun to kind of notice the connections and
yeah,
see, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder if these vibes are going to continue and mean anything
this
in
was
any way.
intentional. Yeah.
Exactly. So then we had balloons, sort of like Up, the movie Up, where the
Yeah.
the balloons take, like, the house up, but it doesn't look like there's, like, a camera attached to them.
It might be because right away I was like, what is that? What is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, it's definitely going to be kind of a cool shot, whatever we
Mhm.
end up seeing from that, because it looks like there's sort of, like, a camera attached to the, string as the balloons are kind of, like, lifting up into the air.
Mm,
So, whatever that and they're also filming the balloons going up, so I don't know. Very weird, but
mm.
it doesn't really fit with, like, the vibe of the show. It's kind
Yeah.
of, like, very contrasting to, like, the darker kind of vibe, but
Mm.
I don't know. And then we have a set, which this set looks
Oh
amazing.
my God, I know.
Noah Schnapp even kind of shared this to his story and said, like, favorite set so far,
Mhm.
so that's pretty cool. There's, like, so many lights, and I can't
I'm
really
assuming the
tell.
upside down, maybe?
Right, but there's also kind of like guards, and it looks sort of like it could be maybe a town or like a prison or I have no idea. I
Yeah.
really don't have many theories here of what this set is, but it looks really cool.
Mm.
Yeah, there's water on the ground. It looks muddy. I don't know. I don't know. It's very
Yeah.
cool. And then, of course, we've got the marble jar, and it's filling up, man. They've
Yes,
shot a
it
lot of
is.
days. What about merch, Stacy? What do we got for merch? We have some new merch.
We have some new merch I was very excited about. So one thing that got actually brought up to me, there are these things and they're called, let me get the name of it. We have these things called mini brands and I've seen like a few reels on Instagram about them, but they basically come in a plastic ball and people are starting collecting them at Target. I guess they're in the toy section. And it's something through Netflix because you can get like these little miniature things from either Squid Games, Kai, Bridgerton, and there's Stranger Things items. So you can get either little action figures of that came out like in 2022 of Eddie or Hopper. You can get a mini guitar. I think you can get a Surfer Boy pizza that I guess is scented, which I'm like, girl, that's amazing.
Mm.
But they're tiny, you know, so I always
Mhm.
think of Zoolander, like, is this pizza meant for ants? So pretty exciting. But the thing that really got me excited was yesterday they decided to drop. Now they already told us that Walmart would be doing Squishmallows, Stranger Things, and we had two Scoops Ahoy ones. We had an Argyle pineapple one, which is adorable, an
Mhm.
11 and a Demogorgon. And then they decided to drop that there will be an Eddie Munson and Dustin Henderson set, which will be released later this fall.
Yeah,
I
they're
can't wait.
adorable. I did see on Walmart's app that like a bunch of the other ones are available to
Oh,
pre-order.
cool. Okay.
I thought that some stores were getting them already, but
Yeah.
like you said, we haven't been able to find them in stores yet, but they are available to pre-order and they said they're going to come out in like October, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm thinking that the Eddie and Dustin will either be also in October or after.
Yeah.
So they look really adorable. The Eddie is very similar to the big life-size one
Yep.
that they had sent to the Stranger Things 5 set. And yeah, it's cute. I think it's cute that it looks like Dustin is a little bit smaller than Eddie.
I know, with this little hat. I was like,
Yeah.
this is so cute. And the level of detail. And like I said, I have a custom Eddie one that I got off Etsy last year, but I just joined the Squishmallow train. And even though, like you said, they're not the big ones, they're so soft. They're so cool. So really excited for that. And then the last thing I wanted to mention was Comic-Con, which was this weekend. They're doing a Target exclusive of Vecna in one of my favorite scenes where he's like being blasted into the wall, like he's absorbing into the wall. And it's just not your typical like Funko Pop. It looks like a brick, basically.
Yeah.
It looks so damn cool because we've gotten so many different versions of Vecna. So it's like his whole transition into the monster he becomes. So that's definitely on the list of having to get.
Yeah, that one's super cool for sure. So, yeah, lots of fun stuff coming up. So, well, I think that that's pretty much it for today. We really hope you enjoyed our episode. Make sure that you find us on social media. Come chat with us
Yes.
at Skull Rock Broadcast. And I'm Steady Stories. Stacy is Stay Still Reviews. And we just love talking about the show so much. We can't wait to hear what you thought about the Funko Pop conversation with Haley. We definitely are going to be asking what your dream pop is.
Yes.
So if you have not already told us on social media, put that in our comments for this episode because we would love to hear everybody else's ideas and maybe we can manifest some more cool Funko Pops in the future. And we would love if you would check out our Patreon because we will have bonus content, bonus episodes, just a chance to have a deeper sense of community with us, a chance to be on the show. So lots of fun stuff, giveaways on the Patreon page. So check that out. And we would love if you would follow, rate, and review our show too. So wherever you're listening to this, we would appreciate that so much. And we will talk to you next week.
All right. Well, that was super fun. So, guys, we will talk to you soon and over and out.
Over and out.